Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tiki Penguin, and today I want to start getting into Create, the great mod, and it's honestly probably one of the mods I'm more comfortable with. I've used it quite a bit in the past, and it's quite a fun mod. It's basically an automation mod that uses rotational energy to automate most materials and resources. Today I would like to get a basic workshop up and running through the power of water wheels. That'll be our main source of rotational energy for the time being. And I have a very cool idea of how we can implement them into this now empty space we have here, because our chests are now inside. My idea and plan, we could build like an artificial river that flows down here and will flow over the water wheels and drain into hopefully a soon to be like pond. Make like a little pond that we could also probably use for fishing too. But then the water will turn the water wheels and will send the power down here into hopefully soon to be a starting create workshop, so we can start processing more materials for what we want to do. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. The create mod is very simple to get into. The materials needed is very minimal: iron, wood, stripped logs, and andesite. And we need to start by making what is called andesite alloy, which is this stuff right here, which just takes andesite and iron nuggets. Now right now it takes 2 andesite and 2 iron nuggets to make 1 andesite alloy. Later we can make it more efficient with a mixing station, which will make it a more efficient recipe to combine 1 andesite and 1 iron nugget. I'm not going to use the zinc because a zinc is more useful for other recipes. So we're going to save our zinc. We're not going to use it yet. We can use iron. Iron is plentiful and we can farm iron. So we're going to use iron. This is a more efficient recipe and we'll use that to create our andesite alloy. So to get started in create, we need to first make a source of rotational energy, and which we will do with these water wheels. Luckily with the create mod, if you're new to it and want to experience this on your own, it comes with very helpful diagrams that kind of show you how everything works. As you can see, the hold to ponder, if you hold W to ponder apart, it'll show you exactly what it does and its uses. And this is what we're going to use, is a large water wheel to send rotational energy downward. I believe this large water wheel needs to be put in a 5x5 area, which I think I could fit here. But first we need to start by making some iron nuggets. And for now we will just take this right here and create 32 with the andesite alloy. I don't want to do this too much just because it is severely inefficient. So hopefully we won't have to use that recipe very much anymore. So first things first, one of the basic items that we need for a lot of recipes is this shaft right here, which just takes 2 andesite alloy and that creates 8 of them. So make a little bit of those. And to create our large water wheel, we will need a small water wheel. And to create a small water wheel, 1 shaft and planks. And now we have a water wheel. And to make that a large one, strand it again in planks, like so. So we can try and mock up a little area to see how this might fit. So if I put this here for say, that does fit. It does clip a tiny bit. However, the height of this is not too bad. We'll probably put it 1 more into the ground. That's something we can do a little bit later. So I'm going to make 3 of these. So before we actually place any of these water wheels or anything like that, I want to actually make the artificial river. And I'm going to kind of outline it in cobblestone and with these cobblestone bricks from cork. These are really cool, and I think we'll have a nice touch to them. So I'm pretty much just going to outline this in stone and kind of build an overhang and kind of get hopefully a consistent flow of water that can go all the way through. Let me get that dug out and we will start building this thing. So everything is somewhat terraformed now to where I need it. And now we can start placing all the cobblestone and cobblestone bricks to kind of form our riverbed, our artificial riverbed. We're going to do that. This all placed, and I will make sure the water is flowing correctly. And it's going to overhang a little bit. Clear this out here. We're going to come out 5. We're going to try 4 blocks. Since the water wheels are 5 by 5, we want it to hit on the edge of the water wheel. So 4 in theory should work. We're bring it all the way out here. So next what I'd like to do is start building a sort of frame for this water wheel. Why is there pillagers over there? Like we were doing before the pillagers came and tried to mess everything up. Trying to make a supporting frame. It's going to do this with a 3-block gap. And what we can do is run the supports along here. I'm also going to run it on the underside as well. We're not going to go on the front. We are, however. The water wheel is theoretically going to sit in the center right here. If I place this right there, should sit. Oh, nope. One is in the wrong direction. Or in the wrong spot. I'm going to clip maybe a tiny bit on the top, but I'm not too worried about it. I did space these out 1 block wider because they kind of do clip in with the block with the textures and stuff, so I didn't really like how it looked. It looked very crammed, but this should look a little bit better. I might have to extend the stone out to sit on top of it, so it looks a little bit more realistic. And maybe we can bring in this right there, and it should theoretically flow right in front and give us rotation. So I guess now we just gotta throw some water down and hopefully it flows correctly. That is the hope. We'll have to get another block or another source of water. That's all right. Is it gonna flow? I didn't think so. That's all right. We should be able to place maybe some sources there as well. Let me fill this up with water and hopefully it looks and works as intended. Alrighty, we now have running water. And it is now working intended. It is now spinning the water wheels. Unfortunately, this does not reach all the way down to here, but we can just terraform a little bit and get it to flow. And just like that, it is now in the pond. And we can fill this up artificially. And we will fill it up. But for now, I want to focus on the create aspect of things. Quite hard to see. Some torches up for the time being. So now we need to figure out a way to get this rotational power down into here. What I'm first going to do is dig a hole on the right side of the water wheel down to Y level 63. We're going to go ahead and probably do that, thinking right where this stripped log is at. We're going to dig down. Here. And look in this direction. We should be able to connect this back to our workshop, or soon to be workshop. And should be right here. There we go. So now this will be our tunnel to transfer power. And to transfer the power is actually very simple. So to transfer power down to there, we will need the help of these shafts and a gearbox. For a gearbox, we will need an andesite casing. And to do that, we basically take our andesite alloy. We will place down some stripped logs of your choice and grab our andesite alloy and just place it on it to transfer it into andesite casing. And then you can just pick it up with an axe or pickaxe. And later we will make a tool or create. It is called I believe it's just the wrench, which we will need golden sheets, a cogwheel, and a stick to make it, which will allow us to instantly pick up everything and makes the whole process of building much, much easier. But we gotta do a couple things before we can make golden sheets. We need to make a gearbox, which is made with the 4 cogwheels and the andesite casing. We just made the casing, so now we need to make the cogwheel, which is 1 shaft and 1 plank, which gives us a small cogwheel. If you want to make a large cogwheel, you can combine a cogwheel with another plank, or 1 shaft with 2 planks to make the large cogwheel. So we will make 4 of these. Place them like so. Andesite casing in the middle, and now we have a gearbox. But I believe we'll actually want a vertical gearbox, which you can just get by placing a normal gearbox in the crafting table and getting a vertical one. We're going to take our gearbox over here. We're going to place it like so. These inputs are what we're looking for. Take our shaft. We've connected it to the water wheels. And now you can see it is slowly spinning, but it is spinning nonetheless. We need to make 1 more gearbox and a few more shafts. So now, go over here. I'm going to start placing these like so. Pull this out. Believe, see, that won't work. So we're going to have to make another vertical one like that. And we're going to take our shafts and run them in this direction. Looks like we'll need 1 more. Not a big deal. But now we have rotational energy all the way over here. After we get our last gearbox right there, I'm actually going to want to speed up the rotation, because for certain blocks we need a minimum rotational speed, and plus it makes the other blocks more efficient. But it does take more stress units. But that's why we have the large cogwheels. They give a lot amount of energy. And just so it doesn't look like this is floating, I will place 2 shafts right there. And we can actually put casings over these. So I'm going to put 1 casing over like that. And probably just 1 spruce log to kind of hold it up. 1 there as well. And I will do the same here. And we will also cover up those 2 as well. It's still spinning. They're just now encased and look a little neater. Before we do much, much more, I would like to create a temporary machine set up with the power of the cogwheels. So we want to make a mechanical press. To do that, we need a shaft, andesite casing, and a block of iron. We have 2 of these things thus far. And there, now we have our mechanical press. We can actually make those gold sheets to make the wrench. Getting the wrench done now will make everything else much, much easier. We can actually just connect it like there, right, like so, and we can just actually throw these on the ground. It will be painfully slow. I'll speed this up. We're going to speed up the rotation before we get it to all the machines. But now, with the 3 golden sheets, place that there, cogwheel, and hopefully that works. And it does not work. Okay, that will stay there. There we go, a wrench. And this wrench has infinite durability, and if we just shift and right click, it'll pick it up and put it automatically into our inventory. Dealing with all these crate machines, this will make it much, much easier and more convenient for us. So I made some cogwheels, some large cogwheels, and a gearbox. Take our gearbox here. I'm going to dig out a little bit more of an area. I'm doing this so we have room to place some of our gears down to help speed this up. So how we're going to want to do this is we're going to want a large cogwheel here. And then we're going to place a small cogwheel diagonal from it, like that, 15 gears. So from this gear to this gear is actually doubling our speed. Take our andesite casing here. And then we're gonna want to cover this gear. Now that takes the front shaft connection away from it, so we can make this a lot more compact. And actually decorating stuff with andesite casing doesn't actually consume any andesite casing, which is very, very handy. We're gonna place our large cogwheel on the small one. And then repeat the process again. We are now doubled again. Andesite casing, large, small, casing, large, small. We are now sped up a ton. Much faster. And hopefully we have enough stress units to still power everything I have planned. We're actually going to dig this out a little bit and give us some more room. We have now made a speedometer, which uses a compass and an andesite casing. We can also change the speedometer into a stressometer just by putting it in the crafting table. But to actually see the contents of what it's showing us, we need to make one more thing. So we made the wrench before for ease of picking up stuff, but now we need to make engineer's goggles so we can actually see more information about our machines. We need one string, another gold sheet, and 2 glass. We're gonna have to place down our mechanical press again, unfortunately. Our golden sheet. We're going to make our engineer's goggles. And these will become our best friend. We can actually put these on our head slot or here. So now we take our speedometer, place it against there. We can see that these large water wheels spin at 4 RPM. I grab that, the stressometer. I don't know if this will actually work. Okay, yes. Remaining capacity. So these 3 water wheels give us a total of 1,536 stress units, which is not too bad for starting out with Create. We can work with that for sure. We go down here. We're now spinning at 64 RPM, which is much more efficient and quicker. So the faster the rotational input is to the machines, the more stress units they want to consume. If we take our mechanical press, right here, this is consuming 32 stress units. It's actually consuming now 512 stress units, which is actually a third of our power. With that being said, each station has a stress impact RPM multiplier. So this takes 8 times. So the stress that this consumes is 8 times the RPM. Eventually we will need 2 mechanical presses, a mechanical mixer, need a bunch. There's a lot of stations we need to implement, but for now we're just going to do the basics just because that's all we can really afford with the power given to us right now. It shouldn't take too long for us to upgrade, but for now we can work with this. Doing this will give us the bare necessities for us to do what we need to do. So this will be our new output for our machines. The next station I want to make is a mechanical mixer. So it takes a cogwheel, andesite casing, and a whisk. And that we just need 5 iron sheets, some andesite alloy, and that should create our whisk. So before we do that, I would actually like maybe get this set up here. So if we place this, take this out, actually place these vertically, only need it right there. Take our 5 iron, throw it down. You can see it works a lot quicker now. We don't need to wait nearly as long. Perfect. Grab that back. We'd probably get a crafting table down there as well, but that is a problem for a later time. Grab our whisk. Another cogwheel. Now we have our mechanical mixer. We're also going to want to make a millstone. A lot more crafting opportunities as well. So we just need the same 2 materials and then 1 smooth stone, which I have. Place those in there like so. And now we have a millstone. For all these to work, we actually need some things for the items to actually go into. For example, the mixer needs a basin, which is just made from andesite alloy. like so. Now we have a basin. The next thing we'll need for our mechanical press to help flatten out mainly metals is a depot. Very, very simple. And now this alone should be able to give us some basic workshops for us to be able to use to continue crafting. Right? You can actually right click on certain faces of the block to turn them. So if you, right here, if I click on the bottom face, it actually rotates it this way, which is what I want. We're gonna place our mixer right here. And I'm actually gonna place our our millstone right there. I'm gonna try and get this connected up all on one source of power. Have a shaft like so. So now those will be connected. I'm gonna move this over one. And trust me, I know this is extremely inefficient in space, but it is only temporary. You don't have enough materials to connect everything. And I'm not worried about making any excess materials. Only thing I am worried about making excess of are the andesite alloy, just because this recipe stinks. But we do need some more. Need more cogs. And actually, more andesite alloy as well. We can actually use our wrench for this and just automatically pick them all up. So I need 3 more gearboxes, and this should allow us to connect everything together. So we're gonna make 1 vertical, and this also probably needs to be vertical. Take our shaft like that, cover that up. So now this is spinning. We take our gearbox. This also probably needs to be vertical now that I look at it. And look at that, everything is now spinning. We can now place our basin and our depot that we made earlier. Place the basin here underneath the mechanical press. This will act as a mechanical press. We can now place our basin right here for our mixer. And now, to show it off, we can make some more andesite alloy. Just need some more iron nuggets. Grab the exact amount that we need, 32 and 32, and that should make 32 andesite alloy with that, and it does it for us. Look, we can now just walk away. It'll mix it for us, and we can start crafting other stuff. Once we can get everything to maximum speed, which I believe is 256 RPM, this is very, very quick. This will save us on a ton of andesite. And ironically, that's the material I'm worried about, not the iron. We can actually make iron from cobblestone. There's actually a lot of things you can make from cobblestone. I'll pull a chart up of that right now. And I will leave a link to the original post in the description below. If you want to check that out, go ahead. It's very useful. And cobblestone is, I would almost say, OP in Create. You can damn near anything with it. Andesite alloy is all done. So this is rough and rugged, but it works for now. Eventually, we do need to make another mechanical press and a basin to create a compactor, which will help us with different recipes and such. And with other stations I want to set up in the near future, we will need blaze burners for melting metals together, for example, to make brass. We need encased fans, which we can use for bulk blasting, bulk haunting, which is from a blue flame, bulk smoking, so like a smoker, but it doesn't take fuel. The bulk blasting is like a furnace, cook stuff without fuel, and then also bulk washing. And I believe there's actually one more with one of the additions. I want to say it's bulk freezing. Let me find it. We will need an industrial fan, I do believe. This will be much later. Like much more advanced materials. Need an infernal mechanism, which takes a lot of stuff, which I have not gotten into yet. We'll have to make an assembly line for that. So that'll be much later down the line. But with the industrial fan that unlocks bulk freezing, allows us to do different stuff. We can actually make like powdered snow, slime balls for magma cream, packed ice in the blue ice. We can make a bunch of stuff, and bulk superheating, which I actually haven't gone into yet, but it looks very, very useful. Eventually, we will want to make crushing wheels. We will need to make a mechanical crafting area for that, which won't be too hard. We need to make a ton of these, but it does take brass casings and electron tubes, which takes rose quartz, which we need a bunch of redstone and nether quartz for. Thankfully, we have the nether quartz. I just don't think we have the redstone. And to do all this, or I should say, to power all of this, we will need to eventually make steam engines, which unfortunately I will have to do later because that is a continuous process. Hopefully very, very soon we'll have that up and running, and this whole place will be our basement create workshop, fully powered to our heart's desires to make whatever we need to do. Getting into create unlocks a lot of things for us and can help us progress and build lots of cool things. So now I think what I'd like to do is maybe decorate this place a little bit, because it's still just a dugout place underneath my current house. We're going to get some materials and we're going to start decorating this area. So I've gone ahead and done a little bit of it already. We have the floor done to a basic extent. I do want to texture this or make a pattern with it somehow, but I'm not quite sure what's going to fit with the cut deep slate brick from Create. So I'm going to figure that out probably after this is all done and see what kind of works. But for the wall, for the majority of it, I do want to do brick, and kind of like how we did with the farm, I want to do like a depth ceiling with these logs for supports, and then kind of these slabs as the main roof. So we're gonna get this all placed. I'm gonna replace the lighting as well with some lanterns on the beams, and I kind of want to incorporate, like, I think it'd be cool to add some glass here so you could kind of see all the cogs and stuff at work. So we're gonna decorate this up and get in it looking very nice. All right, I have placed all the blocks that I can for now. The ceiling is finished. The wall is mostly finished. I ran out of brick because I don't have any more clay. So I'll have to get some more of that to finish it up, but this is basically what it'll look like. I do want to break up the wall a little bit. We're gonna hopefully add to cover most of these walls in either machines or some form of thing that can help us get materials and such. Kind of like this. Like, I don't think this looks bad just with the brick wall as like a backdrop almost. So I'm hoping to fill this basement with machines and different things to help us do stuff. Another cool thing I kind of want to do is right here on the underneath of the stairs. I think it'd be cool to put like an item shelf or of some form right here. I think that'd be pretty neat. With the basement idea at least finished, we'll probably get into building all the machines for it in the next episode. But before we're finished, I do want to decorate this place a little bit too, and also get the pond made. We're gonna do that after we're done sleeping. I think one of the things we can do, at least make it look a little bit more natural. Grab a couple stacks of dirt. Want to like get rid of some of this stone and just replace it with some dirt. Make it a little bit more natural. Only thing I'm worried about when doing this is messing up the water flow, because that can break the large water wheels. I don't want that to happen. I'm gonna try and be a little gentle when doing this. All the dirt's been placed that I want to place. I'm not sure about how I want to terraform this edge right here. I mean, we could just level it out a little bit with this. I think that might actually look kind of nice. So we can just take all this here. Let's just get rid of it. We'll leave this hump there, but just flatten everything out right here. And this does go down to this little ravine looking area. But I think that alone will help even everything out. Yeah, it does. That's good. Actually, bring this back a little bit too. Just like that. Get rid of some of these stone bits. There we go. Looks a little bit better. Now it's a little bit more carved out. And now we're gonna fill the pond. Now this will probably take a while, so I will save you the boring part and just show you when it's done. We're almost done. I think I just need one more layer. The process is actually a lot more satisfying than I was originally imagining. Pretty much, if I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to vanilla mechanics, I am very in the unknown. I'm not that knowledgeable. Probably know more about mods than I do vanilla Minecraft honestly. But, I mean, I thought I was gonna have to place like a layer of dirt or something and place all the source blocks underneath. But it seems like, for the most part, it'll kind of just fill itself in after you get enough on the outside. We get some there. Look at that, it's already starting to fill up a little bit. Fill that in there. Oh, eventually it should all just collapse on itself, kind of. Let me try and get this other edge done. Here we go. We keep doing this, it should all, there we go, look at that. Kind of just fills itself in after a little bit. Does most of the work for us. And look at that. Basically done. And it filled itself in. Just need to do that last little section. And that should be good. Look at that. Oh, it goes all the way back there too. That is perfect. And now we have ourselves a little pond that now fits with the whole theme of the build, and we are now good to go. Oh, shoot. Have a little bit of flowage here I don't want. Maybe? I don't know if I'll be able to fix this. There we go. I think for the most part, that is good now. We could decorate this in the future, but for now, I'm just going to leave it like that. Hell. Oh, hanging his llama. Rip. But I think that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoy this kind of content, leave a like down below and consider subscribing. It means the world to me. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!